viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about none other than Kanye West and all the drama surrounding his recent social media presence and posts on Instagram. Upon keeping up with Kanye's Instagram posts, almost all of which have been deleted now, I was interested to understand why is he resorting to such an amplified online presence to communicate every thought that passes his head, as he has previously known to not cater to an online or media commodification of his fame or narrative before. And honestly, in the age of social media, I do not think there has been anything that has made as big of an impact as all this Kanye's infamously deleted rants have made. None of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians episodes comes close to the havoc in the culture that this has created. So let's uncover the reason behind all this upheaval and drama in Kanye West's life by looking into his astrological chart to figure out how are things going to turn out for him eventually, and why is he going through this phase right now, and what kind of music can we expect from him next. If you are interested to know more, please keep on watching and do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. So when we pull up Kanye West's astrological chart, the first thing to notice is that he has his moon in the 7th house. Now what this means is that Kanye is extremely emotionally inclined to his partnerships, as moon in astrology signifies your emotions and mind, and the 7th house denotes your romantic partnerships and marriage. So the fact that moon is an entity that constantly keeps changing, is never static, shows us how he is emotionally impacted by his marriage woes. This in itself is a testament to how he has been reacting to all the drama created by his ongoing divorce proceedings from Kim Kardashian. But this highly emotionally erratic response that has been triggered even more so because of all the planetary transits that have been happening over his moon and the 7th house. So firstly, right now, Jupiter is transiting over his natal moon. And what this signifies is the grandiosity of his emotions relating to his marriage. Moon changes constantly, and Jupiter brings an amplification to the changes happening in his partnerships, and thereby its effects on his mind and emotions. This also signifies changes in housing or moving houses, as moon is the natural significator of the 4th house of astrology that is connected with family and home. Jupiter transiting over his natal moon also brings forth his optimism relating to his reuniting with his estranged wife. Then Sun also transits his natal moon, which causes his soul's focus to be again turned towards striking a harmonious reconciliation with his wife Kim Kardashian. Next is the transit of Saturn over his natal moon, which can bring forth greater challenges and feelings of pessimism relating to his marriage and partnership, as Saturn is a planet in astrology that brings hurdles and karmic lessons in your life. So how this can manifest for him is that Saturn's transit might help to slow down the changes and intensity of his emotions towards his partnership to clear his mind about his intentions. It can also, though, make him feel isolated and emotionally misunderstood too. Now, moving on to why he has been communicating on Instagram by harassing, calling out, and dissing people, basically creating undeniable chaos for himself, is because of his Rahu or North Node transiting his 10th house of public perception and fame. This transit is happening over some of his major planets placed in his natal or birth chart, like Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury, that are all conjunct in the 10th house of his birth chart. What this transit does is that it already amplifies his high self-image and braggadocious narcissistic attitude, as Rahu signifies amplification in astrology, and Sun and Jupiter conjunction shows the self-assured, arrogant demeanor that West is infamous for. Basically, lighting a fire under such an attitude display. A fascinating thing to observe is that another planet that is present in his 10th house is Mercury. And when Rahu transits over the planet of communication and media, it shows how his method of communicating his ideas has been erratic, excelled, and illusionary. Mercury is also a very important planet for a rapper as it depicts their classic skill of being a wordsmith and also depicts business. And when this signification gets eclipsed by the impact of Rahu, which is known for being the unconventional, defiant, and out of the box node of the moon, then we can clearly see the effect that this has been making on Kanye West. We know that his album Donda 2 is going to drop today, and it's not going to be streaming on platforms as conventional album drops happen, but rather it's going to be on his own device known as the stem player. This transit also gives us an insight into how this has been impacting his way of communicating his ideas by dispersing them through social media, which Rahu is again a significator of. He is basically spreading unverified takes on things in a rant fashion and then deleting those posts like social media is a blackboard that you can wipe off your word vomit from. But he's not doing it because he's naive. It's all a facade to create a hype around all his endeavors, be it the album drop or his new Netflix documentary. All his actions are creating a publicity that no PR machine can replicate because all the drama that he has created has everyone invested in each move that he is making. And this is precisely what he wants. And this shows us how the amplification of his unconventional business ideas are manifesting because of the transit of Rahu over his natal Mercury.
He posts this photo of him proving that his account is not being currently hacked right now, which, like, bro, we know. Like, nobody on your account would be posting this fucking way other than you. Nobody in a million years would be posting on your Instagram account this erratically other than you. If somebody did manage to hack Kanye's account and was posting like this all weekend, I feel like that person would deserve an Academy Award.
But whilst his public image and fame is getting bolstered, where he is lacking attention is his home and family, as his Ketu or South Node is transiting his fourth house of family and home. Ketu is a node in astrology that brings forth separation and disconnect, which is clearly evident since he has been living away from his family. Even though it's just the next house from his previous one, yet he has been separated from the family unit. Now that we have seen all the reasons behind what is happening currently with Kanye West, I also want to delve into looking at his transits to see how things are going to turn out for him in the near future, and if this tumultuous relationship with Kim Kardashian and his social media shenanigans are going to change for the better or not. The very first thing to notice is that the amount of emotional ups and downs that he will go through until July will start to slowly get better, at least from how it is currently, as no major planets will be transiting over his natal moon or the seventh house after that. But when it comes to his obsession with Kim Kardashian, I don't see that getting any better, since Rahu, which brings obsessive amplification, is going to transit over his natal Venus, which in a man's chart is a significator of his wife. So he's going to be focused on having her for himself. But also not to forget that his Mars is also conjunct with his natal Venus. So Rahu will amplify things like disputes and anger, as Mars signifies those things in astrology. So the battle between these exes is not going to resolve amicably any sooner. There is also a possibility of his dating life to get more active, since Rahu signifies expansion, and Venus and Mars can show intimate relationships with multiple women, as passion and drive rise higher during this period of the transit. When it comes to the realm of music, it can show an increase in the albums or songs that he drops during this period, as Venus signifies art and music. Also, the kind of music that he would be dropping is going to be on the similar lines as his recently released tracks like Easy, as Venus, that signifies music and art, is conjunct Mars, which signifies aggression and passion. But another notable thing is that this conjunction is happening in his ninth house of religion, and his Jupiter is also going to transit over his natal Ketu, which signifies spirituality. So there's a high chance that he will drop an album during this transit of the likes of Donda or Jesus is King, because he will certainly be inclined towards the themes of religion and spirituality during this period. The transit of Jupiter through his eighth house of death, transformation, and rebirth shows that he could be facing more unexpected events that cause ups and downs in his life, leading to complete change and rebirth of who he is as a person, possibly by rediscovering or focusing more on his religious ideals and spirituality. One relief that is possible from his abrasive and abusive social media posts can come when Ketu transits his third house of media and communication, so there is a possibility that the chaos that he has created through his erratic Instagram posts is going to subside as he becomes more reclusive and more into connecting with his religious identity. But for him, unfortunately, Saturn will be mainly transiting in his sixth house of enemies, debts, and legal battles. These themes have been present in his life, which have been bringing him karma and challenges relating to divorce, custody battles, and feelings of amassing greater enemies. This will continue for a longer period of time until Saturn transits out of his sixth house. He will have to face legal proceedings, lawsuits, and feelings of betrayal from people that he trusted.
Kind of behavior, going at your ex, going at your ex's new guy, doing this, posing threats doesn't create good outcomes in these very tense situations where if you are seeking joint custody, if you're seeking for the relationship to be mended, if you're seeking for some kind of amicable split where everything is just like even keel, whatever. It's at that exact point in time, you want to be on your best behavior, because it's at that point that anything that you do that is the least bit off or threatening or unsettling could be working against you, either in a court of law or some other context. You know, like, what is it about this behavior that Kanye thinks is going to win Kim back?
Kanye, I know you're like, yo, this is the real me. I'm off the meds. Take them. Being mentally ill is not an excuse to act like a jackass.
Kanye West is a narcissistic, egomaniac man-child who is simply just jealous because his wife will be spending Valentine's Day with... It's really just that simple. He's hurt, he's in pain, he's projecting his pain on everybody. He's bleeding on people who didn't even cut him. And I really wish he would go get some healing.
And with this, I come to the end of this video. I hope Kanye West can focus on bringing a better version of himself out of this troubling time for him. If you have any opinions on Kanye West's saga, then please leave them in the comment section below. If you liked watching this video, I urge you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel, as I'm quite close to my first 100 subscribers count. Please join the community, and I would love to bring you further interesting astrology content. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I will see you with the next video soon. Until then, take care, you all.